This is a total product schedule. This is a schedule to kind of explain to us how total product and marginal resource product work. These are the quantities of labor. So we go from 0 to 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That could be additional workers, additional trucks, additional factories, additional any type of resource. Remember, the resources are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurial ability. And then these translate into total product. And the total product is, notice as we add on additional units of labor, the total product increases, but then increases at a decreasing rate. So if you look at the marginal product curve, which is the change in total product, what you start to see is the law of diminishing returns kicking in. So they get higher and then they start to decrease. And that's that you'll see that relationship in many things in economics, but in particular, the marginal product of the total product. Now, this may be what the product could be: pizza, could be cars, it could be anything we produce. But notice, as we add on more workers, they produce at an increasing rate, but at a diminishing increasing rate. And what's really important to us is to understand it from a price standpoint, because just to see it from the product standpoint isn't enough. You want to know how that translates into money in the bank. So we multiply total product by the price of the good to get the marginal resource product. So notice 10 times 2 is 20, 26 times 2 is 26 times 2 should be 42. I'm sorry, 16 times 2 is 32, 10 times 2 is 20, 8 times 2 is 16. So notice that the marginal resource product is a function of the marginal product multiplied by the price of the good. So we know how much each unit of labor or each unit of resource is producing. And then obviously we would hire people up until the point where they produce additional units of marginal resource product. So if the marginal here the price is 15, so we'll hire up to the 4th worker. We wouldn't hire the 5th worker because we'd lose money. You would never hire somebody who would cost you more than what they can bring in terms of product. And that's why some some jobs carry higher wages than others, because the marginal resource product is higher than what they're charging. You can't expect to get paid more than for what you're producing. So that's like basically it. That's how you solve that problem. And it's also a insight into the minimum wage, because if we raise wages, well then we can only justify hiring up to the point where the employee makes the price of the wage. Obviously, when you raise the minimum wage, well, it's a good idea. Either the employee has to become more productive, or we have to raise prices, or a combination of both. If we don't have control over production or prices, that could be a problem when we have to raise wages. Finally, last thought, in terms of the wage, in terms of productivity, that's why you see so much technology used. So when McDonald's had to raise the minimum wage, they introduced, or Starbucks, they introduced these apps, because the apps allow them to produce more product with less labor. And they're able to pay their workers more because they're not wasting time taking orders or doing accounting, or collecting the price of the coffee. That's all done with an application, and then they make the product. So that's it, and that's this, that's this for this economic lesson.